Andrew Cuomo is tired of seeing violence carried out in the middle of the street all across New York. And no, I'm not talking specifically about anything suspect that's happening at the governor's mansion. No, he is unveiling a 7-point plan to combat disaster emergency of gun violence because it's just skyrocketing. And this weekend, oh my God, it was just too much for him to bear. And he's finally taken action. And what's he going to be doing? Throwing money at a problem. Okay, how's that money going to be used? He's throwing money at it. Okay, Andrew, you really fucking thought this one through. Remember when he was in trouble for grabbing some interns' asses and killing grandma? Boy, wasn't that a fun fucking 4-week news cycle. Governor Andrew Cuomo on Tuesday declared a state of disaster emergency. Now, he probably got caught up in the words. Fine. Over gun violence across New York and announced $138 million in new spending to try to stop the surge in shootings. Hey, if you're going to be spending money, I'd imagine that might be going towards, and we'll take a look, I'd imagine it's probably going to be going towards cops, but weren't you a part of the whole defund the police crowd? Weird. Gun violence and crime should be top priority for every mayor in this state. Bruh, your biggest city, the mayor there, he's firmly on that bandwagon. I'm a little bit unclear as to what Cuomo's stance has been because he's taken every position on the board. So who knows what he actually holds at this point. But Bill de Blasio, he's been very, very firm on his opinion that all of this stuff is all a part of the systemic racism and, the Sandinistas are great and we should work towards a socialist utopia. Thank God he's almost gone. But yeah, every mayor in the state, because every city has been affected by it. It's weird because, okay, over like the past 20 years or something, you've made New York City and New York State one of the toughest places to own, keep, carry, transport firearms, but yet there's an overwhelming disaster emergency now of gun violence. Weird. It's weird that always happens in Democrat areas. I don't know. I'm sure there's somewhere that he explains that as well. It's a matter of saving lives, and New York's future depends on it. Sure it does. Speaking at the John Jay College of Criminal Justice in Manhattan, Cuomo said that people are not coming back to this city. Full stop. He should have just stopped right there. Because we've been running it so shitty, because crime is out of control. Let's see. They're not coming back to any city until they know it's safe. Until all of the corrupt politicians that have been running it into the ground are finally gone. Yeah, I think that'll probably happen. Cuomo made no mention of hiring more cops, although he wanted to rebuild the police-community relationship. He'll probably start by cleaning up all the graffiti that has "all cops are bastards" everywhere. Just saying. Perhaps some of that $138 million can go towards that. In a speech that at times sounded like a campaign pitch, the embattled 3-termed Democrat unveiled a 7-point plan that includes treating gun violence like an emergency public health issue. Because whenever you designate something a public health issue, it gets dealt with like an 18-month pandemic that'll never end. And using data and science. Oh, they're going to follow the science on gun violence. That's cool. That's reassuring. To zero in on shooting hotspots everywhere north of 135th. Now, that used to be where it is, but now it's everywhere. In a speech that at times made Cuomo seem salient. No, I jest. Cuomo, who's facing multiple probes tied to sexual harassment allegations, those are never coming out. And the cover-up of nursing home deaths from COVID-19, expect those around the exact same time. Never. Also said he would provide positive engagement for at-risk youth. Oh my God. Including by creating summer jobs and funding arts and other social programs. Hey, kids like to go to camps, right? A fucking worthless program. We also want to form a council on gun violence prevention. Yeah, hasn't this been tried over and over again? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Hire more police, train better police. How about that? That might work. Or just, just like you want to do with the war on drugs, just stop the war on guns and it'll fix itself. Just legalize everything. Don't worry, that'll take care of all of your problems, right? Why don't you try that? That gets our minds at the table to develop a strategy and laws that we need to make a difference. Oh my God, you can't legislate this problem away, you fucking dunce. Everything is on the table. We all want the same thing. What is that? What is that? And that's what we're going to do. At one point, Cuomo also went on a bizarre riff claiming, clearly aimed at former President Donald Trump. Of course, because nobody's watching his shit anymore and he needs to pump those ratings up. Christ, he's not allowed back on his brother's show, so he has to find a way to grab headlines somehow. During which he jokingly outlined his vision of building a magic wall to stop traffickers from smuggling weapons into New York from southern states with less restrictive gun laws. Or how about you do some addition by subtraction? I know this is a weird concept for a lot of big government Democrats out there, but if you get rid of some unnecessary laws that have just created more criminals, you would probably have fewer crimes that you'd have to police for just like simply carrying something improperly. Because I'm pretty sure that there are good laws on the books for like assault, attempted murder, unlawful discharge, and murder, things like that. Those are the ones you should be focusing on instead of trying to get together a big brain panel in order to figure out what more restrictions can we put on to combat violence and different crimes that are out there. God, you're stupid. We build a big, tall, the beautiful wall, and we all have the wall go on for miles, and we have a little gold leaf on the top of the wall, little gold shiny leaf, and then we put a big name across the wall, and the name has 5 letters. He says FAGOT. Oh, I'm sorry, CUOMO. So yeah, more wasted money. But good, it comes on the heels of a report that came out. 180 dead and hundreds of shootings over the 4th of July weekend from Friday to Monday, because most people had Monday off in lieu of the 4th falling on Sunday. Makes sense. So what's the final tally? Well, the final numbers aren't quite in yet, but it's not going to creep up much higher than that. But 180 people dead. Wow, where did most of those happen? I'll give you just a couple of guesses. Well, over 100 people were killed in the hundreds of shootings across the United States over the 4th of July weekend amid a surge in crimes and homicides in major metropolitan areas, according to an analysis. Data provided by the Gun Violence Archive shows that more than 540 shootings occurred in a 72-hour period between Friday and Sunday, reported NPR. It also showed that at least 180 homicides were recorded. At least 19 people were killed in Chicago alone over the weekend, according to the Chicago Police Department. Around 104 were shot in all. Authorities in the city said they responded to a large number of unruly crowds. But if you have restrictive gun laws on the books, why are there so many shootings in Chicago? I don't get it. There's been a lot of large crowd gatherings tonight, a lot of celebratory fireworks going on, kind of spontaneous. What the fuck? Said Superintendent David Brown. During a press conference, according to the outlet, they were dispersing a crowd when they heard shots and felt pain. Okay? In New York City, the New York Police Department spokesperson, news outlet said there were 26 victims and 21 shootings over the weekend, which is a decrease from the previous year when 30 people were shot and 25 shootings. Cool. Why do you have to spend so much money then, Cuomo? Because it looks like, hey, shootings are down in New York City, so you can go ahead and cut that budget. There you go. You guys are doing better. You guys listen to the calls of do better, and you are doing better. Unbelievable. At least 8 people were shot following an argument in Fort Worth, Texas, around 1:30 on July 4th. Officials said found several victims near a car wash business in Richmond, Virginia. 9 people were shot and killed in 8 separate shootings in a 48-hour. In Syracuse. There's where the additional shootings happened. Said 5 people were shot in 3 separate shootings over the holiday weekend. It continues to go on and on, but do you see a pattern that's there? Because I do. And we actually have some more sad information about one of the shootings that happened in Chicago, and a stray bullet kills a student as he commutes home from a Chicago internship. Why didn't you hear anything about that? Pretty obvious reasons. I don't know why I have to keep pointing this stuff out. I do the exact same thing for any other kids that get randomly shot, and I have before in the past, but boy, do these stories never get talked about, and I wonder why. A University of Chicago student was killed in a freak tragedy. A stray bullet ripped through his subway car during a commute home from the summer internship. Police and loved ones say Max Solomon Lewis, a 20-year-old junior from Denver, Colorado, succumbed Sunday morning to injuries he had suffered from a slug that pierced a window in the train in the 51st Street Green Line station, the Chicago Sun-Times reported. It's a senseless tragedy for so many reasons. Classmate Zach Coogan told the outlet Lewis was pursuing a double major in economics and computer science, so he was actually going to be a very productive member of society. Had snagged a competitive internship at an investment firm in downtown Chicago for the summer. So a real go-getter. That's good. Though he had the option to work from home, Lewis preferred to head into the office because he loved getting to know as many people as he possibly could. The victim was on his way home from work during rush hour Thursday when the bullet struck his neck, police said. I was told Max was shot and he was shot in the neck. It was really bad, Coogan told the Denver Channel. Lewis was taken to a nearby hospital and his friends and family rushed to be by his side. And then, yes, unfortunately, he did pass. And that's what's going on in blue cities. I know, I'm not really breaking any new ground, but this shit continues to happen, mostly because the police officers that are there are woefully understaffed, overworked, and for the most part, I don't want to say for the most part, I want to say for a large majority of them, they're just simply undertrained. And that's not taking a shot at them. I'll leave that for most inner cities. I'll just say good cops want good cops to help back them up. I've laid out my plans before, at least what I think they should do in order to have a better police force, and I need not repeat it. But yeah, it really just looks like Cuomo's going to be throwing money into the wind by creating think tanks instead of shoring up the defenses that are there and actually need the support. But this stuff isn't going to get cleaned up anytime soon, and my condolences to the Lewis family because the kid seemed like a real fucking go-getter, at least by what we have seen there. And it's a sad life, a tragic end, and unfortunately just another statistic in Chicago. But let's talk sports next, sort of, kind of. It's more or less just kind of another one of those left eating the left. And both people have zero fucking self-awareness in the story because it's two unqualified people holding positions that they both want more money for. It's fucking great. With that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Catch y'all later.